Well, the coolest ride is here. An important milestone in Cadillac's history took place today, one that sheds light on the company's plan for the future and reimagines what it means to drive a luxury vehicle. The introduction of the production version of the 2023 Cadillac Lyriq marks the completion of a century's worth of technological advancement and the start of an exciting new era. Cadillac has stated that buyers will be able to submit purchase reservations beginning in September 2021, with the first availability commencing in the first half of 2022. This comes as the testing of Cadillac's first ever electric luxury SUV is proceeding ahead of schedule. Welcome back to the Tech Electric, you all. Today we have got you the coolest drive. Are you guys excited? So without any delay, let's dive into the video, but before that, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel to get every single update about the channel. When car makers debut new models, the delicate balance between form and function is always there, as the exotic designs envisaged by creative designers meet the hard reality of government rules, production constraints, and everyday use. Here's how it all came together and what driving is like. Computer time worth $200 million. According to Cadillac Lyriq Executive Chief Engineer Jamie Brewer, computer-aided engineering was a critical instrument in this feat. She claims that the team used $200 million in cycle time on GM's computers to simulate every component of the Lyriq. By the time we produced our first prototype car, we were 80% of the way there and could get straight into tuning, Brewer says. This was significant because as the first of Cadillac's all-electric cars, the firm claims it will exclusively offer battery-powered new models from now on. The Lyriq exemplifies all Cadillac aspires to be in the future. That involves figuring out noise control issues now that the combustion engine isn't present to provide background white noise to block out other, more disagreeable sounds. According to Brewer, the engine is a substantial masking element for irritating high-pitched sounds and pumping noises. Cadillac's answer, which relied largely on CAE modeling, is to reduce as much noise as possible as its source. The Lyriq, for example, rides on wheels that are particularly engineered for optimum stiffness to assist reduce road noise, and they are coated in tires that are filled with self-sealing goo that helps quiet noise at the source. When that fails, sound deadening can be used to keep the noise from reaching the driver. The final line of defense is active noise cancellation via the Lyriq's AKG stereo system, which actively targets any leftover undesirable sound waves that penetrate the cabin. CAE was also responsible for the Lyriq's lack of a rear window wiper. As an alternative, the business modeled airflow to assist in keeping the back window clear. The computer even modeled the welds that keep the Lyriq's sheet metal chassis together. We were able to use CAE to swiftly iterate alternative welding styles and materials to improve the structure, adds Brewer. Interior. These steps work together to create the quiet, upscale experience that Cadillac believes will eventually attract a new generation of buyers. So far, it appears to be working. 78% of those who have purchased the Lyriq entirely out are new to Cadillac. If you want a Lyriq right now, you'll have to wait until next spring for a 2024 model. Instead of the geriatrics who have been Cadillac's staple consumers for decades, 2/3 of these buyers are Generation X or Y. To attract and retain more such consumers, the Lyriq must break Cadillac's track record of nearly their attempts. Cadillac aficionados, if there were any, could accept these automobiles as a respectable replica of the BMW the cars were attempting to be. However, there were still flaws. Plastics that appeared to be out of place, wonky infotainment interfaces with insufficient CPU power. As a result, the stakes are high. The Lyriq, as the forerunner for Cadillac's next series of electric cars that will attract new generations of customers, cannot afford to make these mistakes. Most of the time it doesn't. The car is as easy to drive as you'd expect, gliding down the road thanks to its 340 horsepower, 325 pound-feet rear-drive powertrain. It is powered by a 102 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion Ultium battery that, according to the EPA, has a range of 312 miles. This is the setup for our $62,155 rear-drive test vehicle. Beginning at the end of the year, the business will also sell all-wheel drive vehicles with a front motor for a total of 500 horsepower. Torque figures have yet to be established. The Lyriq, as is customary for such cars, includes artificial engine noise in the cabin that offers audible signals about the car's power condition. It also includes a variety of drive modes, including touring, sport, snow ice, and a customizable My option. These options modify the power delivery, braking reaction, and sound levels. The suspension remains intact since the earliest Lyriq vehicles will not use the magnetoresistive active shock absorbers pioneered by Cadillac under the Magnaride name in the 1990s. In that method, the hydraulic fluid contains iron particles whose alignment is regulated by a magnetic field to vary the viscosity of the fluid and hence the stiffness of the shock absorbers. The steering of the Lyriq is well weighted and delivers adequate input for a premium car, but it is sluggish, necessitating several revolutions of the wheel to navigate the switchbacks of the roads near Park City, Utah, where I tested the car. Slow steering is no big deal in a premium vehicle with no racetrack ambitions, and the Lyriq's handling comfortably outperforms the BMW iX electric crossover's poor understeer. Cadillac is pointing the way for BMW in this case. Using the brakes. The Lyriq features a one-pedal drive that may be selected by the driver. Most EVs include this function, which enables the car to slow down when the driver pulls off the accelerator pedal, similar to how a golf cart does. Most firms have a corporate mindset about how much or how little their EVs will slow when the driver takes their foot off the accelerator. Cadillac rightly capitalizes on the fact that this is a software issue, and as such, should be driver selectable. Drivers in the Lyriq can disable the feature or select mild or high amounts of deceleration. This implies that just taking off the accelerator pedal causes the Lyriq to slow down at 0.23 G in the low setting and 0.3 G in the high level. Furthermore, the driver may push a paddle on the rear of the steering wheel to create 0.35 G of deceleration, all without ever touching the brake pedal on the Lyriq. GM developed the brake force when the brake pedal is depressed totally in-house. Previously, brake reaction was the sole responsibility of the braking system manufacturer. However, because braking must now be balanced between regenerative braking from the car's electric motor and friction braking using conventional brakes, GM has taken on the job of combining both systems. Those pernicious particulars. The interior is roomy and pleasant, with a bright, airy cabin lighted by the customary panoramic skylight. The back seat is spacious, with plenty of leg and headroom. However, some of this is a ruse, obtained by utilizing a too low backseat cushion, which would soon have adult passengers wriggling uncomfortably. As lovely and capable as the Lyriq is, it is marred by several perplexing judgments. The speed restriction is not displayed by the navigation system, which is important information in a tourist location with unusually low speed limits, such as Park City. What about that awesome driver selectable and one-pedal driving mode? Do not search for a button to easily set these. Instead, you'll use Lyriq's infotainment display to browse through a few menu levels. A Cadillac engineer recognized these omissions and suggested that the one-pedal driving mode would soon have its own virtual button at the bottom of the display panel. When it comes to the touchscreen, keeping your palm stable by clutching the top while you push on-screen buttons indicates that the top of the display gets heated in the sun. It's quite hot. So there are certain elements that perplex and disappoint us. They aren't deal breakers, and many of them might be rectified in future versions. However, when new clients are introduced to the brand for the first time, they may not be in the mood to forgive such eccentricities. Cadillac simply has to unleash a little more of its engineers' talents to iron out these little flaws, since they've done an excellent job on the Lyriq's core. So now we are at the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then give this video a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you will never miss any update. If you have any questions or queries in your mind, tell me in the comment box, and also check out our channel. You find really cool stuff.